final five, guys, of my top 10 cop crime dramas. And let's kick it off with number five, shall we? All right. So, number five is NYPD Blues. This was a very, very deep, deep, thrilling cop drama show that was a part of ABC. It lasted 12 seasons with 261 episodes. It ran from 1993 to 2005, and it was pretty much the exploring of the internal and external struggles of the 15th precinct in Manhattan, New York. Andy Spitzwick was perfect, was great in this show, and he was there from the beginning. The cast did change a lot, but NYPD Blues was a hell of a show, and I loved every moment of it. Me and my father used to watch this show together. That's how good it was, and we loved it. So yeah, NYPD Blue makes my top 10 list. Number 4 on my list is from the 80s, people. You know me, I'm a child of the 80s, grew up in the 80s, and I'll never forget growing up in those 80s. And this show, if you are from the Sunshine State, I bet you watched this. Miami Vice. Yeah. Miami Vice is definitely one of my favorite cop dramas. To this day, I still watch it whenever it comes on. I love the chemistry between Crockett and Tubbs. This show really put Don Johnson on a map. When I was younger, Don Johnson's look of Crockett really influenced a lot of people when in my neighborhood and things like that where I was, and you really wouldn't expect to see that here in New York. But when I was younger, my dad and I would see guys that wanted to be Don Johnson, dressed just like him, dressed with the sports jacket and the sandals and the things like that, and you were just like, wow, but this really dealt more into the vice side of police, and the cast was great. The chemistry and stories that they would tell in this show were epic. Sometimes, most of the time, it was just a great show to watch. I loved it from the get go. I mean, once you heard that opening theme, you're in for a treat. That boom 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 boom, and then that guitar rip coming, and it was like, oh man, it just brings back memories. They did make a movie which was produced by the same guy who produced the show, Michael Mann. And no disrespect to Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx, but the movie, I didn't feel the movie as much as I felt the show. I felt more of the show than seeing Don Johnson and Crockett and Michael Phillips as Tubbs. But it was just a great show. I loved it. I still, like I said, I still watch it to this day, people. And if you are not a fan of it, it's okay, especially if you didn't grow up in the 80s. But if you've heard about it, things like that, check it out. I guarantee you will enjoy it. A lot of guest stars guest on this show. It was epic. Number 3 on my list is a spinoff from the original, CSI Miami. Yeah. CSI Miami is my favorite out of the CSI franchise. Though this is a spin-off of the original, I really didn't get into the original, but One reason why I'm involved in this one so much is because of, there's many reasons, but one, of course, is David Caruso. Man, David Caruso as Horatio is so cool. He comes off so cool in this, and me and my coworkers will do him at work. Well, they say I do it the best, but uh, my coworkers always say, Chris, do Horatio, and I'll do his epic one-liners and throw the glasses on, and then it usually cuts into the opening. But this is a great show. It is now on its I think it's seventh season. I think it's on its ninth season. Excuse me, it's ninth season, and it has over, so far to date, it's over 200 episodes. So that's good. Uh, it airs on Sundays now, I think, on CBS. Uh, and it moved from Mondays, and it is just a great show. The cast is great, the chemistry between the cast, and that's always what I always like, the chemistry between the characters, and we get to see that in the show. This deals more into the forensics of catching the villain, and I love that. And this show also has me where I try to pull my Sherlock Holmes and detective skills, quote unquote detective skills, and try to figure out who the bad guy of the episode is. But it is just a great show. A lot of guest stars have guest starred. Famous people, other entertainers have guest starred on the show. It is, like I said, it is by far my favorite of the CSI franchise. Though I like New York, but Miami beats it out. I'm not really too fond of the original one, and that's probably because I didn't get on top of that as much as I did with this one. I watched this run from the get-go, right when it started, and I made it a habit. I was like, I missed out on CSI, then you know what? Let me watch CSI Miami from the beginning, and that's what I did. That's how I am with shows. I gotta watch it from the beginning. I can't jump on in a season. But CSI Miami makes my list. Number 2. And you guys heard me talk about this show many times. And that is none other than New York Undercover. Yeah, this show aired in the 90s on Fox. It was a lineup of the Thursday night lineup for Fox. And it was a hit right from the get-go. Quote unquote, this show, I actually witnessed some of these shows, some of the episodes being filmed on set. Me and my dad were in the city, Manhattan, uptown, and we have actually got to see them film it. But this show broke so many barriers, as well as this show is the first to have the two main stars of the show be of color. No other show has done that. Malik Yarbrough played J.C. Williams, and Michael Del Lorenzo played Eddie Torres. And they were a part of the 4th Precinct up in Harlem, New York. For all those who represent Harlem, big ups. This was just a gritty show. It lasted 4 seasons, but only watch the 3 seasons. Don't watch the 4th, because the 4th one was pretty garbage. And I found out why it was garbage. Fox did some dirty tactics on this show later in the season. Like, for example, the last episode of the 3rd season, they killed off 2 main characters. Eddie, he was blown up, and they killed off another one of the detectives, McNamara. But I found out why they forced Dick Wolf to do that. Dick Wolf, who created the show, doesn't like to kill off his characters. He really does not. And Fox forced his hand. And they said, if you want, basically, they forced his hand into killing off people, but he wanted to bring another season back. But they said, if you want to bring back a season, if you want us to renew your show for another season, for a 4th season, you got to add more you-know-what characters. Basically, quote-unquote, white cast members instead of being this cast of minority and things like that. And when I read that, I'm like, that's dirty. That's dirty, Fox. Why did you do that? What was your problem with that? That was the main reason why people tuned in to watch this show, because of the diversity of this show. The grittiness and realism of this show was just so great. And then Fox turns around and pulls that stunt. The Superiors pulls that stunt. That's crap. So that's why I always say just watch the 3 seasons. Number 1 on my list should be no surprise to anybody. Another spinoff of the original Law & Order SVU. Yeah, this is my show. This is my number 1 show, which I still watch to this day. It is on its 12th season. Like I said, once again, my dad watched the original. I watched this one. I have a lot of respect for the original one as well. Lasted 20 seasons, but Law & Order SVU is my joint. This is the show. This is the true greatest spinoff in my opinion. So far, it has aired over 200 episodes, approximately 269 episodes. And the characters on this are great. Elliot, Olivia, Finn, Munch, Captain Kragen, Wong. I can go down the list. The only problem I have with the show is, like, now they really have no AD, no district attorney, like, to trial the cases and stuff. Like, they always have to get a new cast member or cast to. But a lot of the former DAs have been returning. But this is the show where a lot of famous A-list stars like to come and come on this show. We've seen people like what episode really was great from an A-lister, in my opinion. Robin Williams guest starred on this show, and he was superb in this show. He came off so gritty, so creepy. It was fantastic. Like, comedians that come on this show that to be funny and laugh and do like this and do all this, you figured they're gonna be, they can't really shine, but comedians like Martin Short came on the show, shined. Robin Williams shined. Bob Saget came on the show, shined. I was like, man, this show brings out the best in celebrities, in actors and actresses. No doubt about it. It is just one of the best shows on TV, crime drama shows on TV, in my opinion, today. Some people might be turned off because they're like, oh man, I see a rapper that turned actor. Don't let that scare you. Ice-T in this show is great. He plays Finn so great. And Dick Wolf wrote that character for him because of what Dick Wolf saw his portrayal in a movie that I love called New Jack City. His character in that, Dick Wolf saw that and was like, I wrote a character just for him. And it is so good to watch it. As we speak right now, as I'm speaking right now to you guys, I'm watching an episode of Law and Order right now. Every Tuesday in the morning, since I'm off, I get up, USA Network, they show a mini marathon of Law and Order SVU, and I watch every episode. I've probably seen almost every episode about maybe 25 times. But Law and Order SVU, number 1. So there you guys have it. My top 10 favorite cop dramas. There are more, but those are my top 10. Shows like In Plain Sight that deal into the witness protection program, I love. White Collar, I like. There are just so many other great crime dramas I like. But you guys tell me what you think. But this is Mount Vernon Kid, guys. Take care.